we're starting a brand new unit, the last unit of 6th grade, probability and statistics. In this lesson 86, we're going to have an introduction to probability. We'll be able to express probability of an event as a fraction. We're going to be able to convert those fractions to percents, and we're going to understand the context of the event in terms of probability. You've probably noticed that I really, really like comics. I mean, I call people in my course math marvels because I used to love Marvel comics as a kid. And one of my favorite characters is Wanda Maximoff. You probably know her as the Scarlet Witch, and you've probably seen her on shows like WandaVision, or in the Avengers movies. Here's the thing. Wanda's superpower is math. She can use her chaos magic to manipulate probability. Now, probability is just a way of explaining the likelihood something is going to happen because, well, even though things have a chance of happening, they don't always happen. And that's what Wanda can do. She can take an impossible event and use chaos magic to put the odds in her favor and make it happen. Take a look at this number line here in the bottom, and it shows probability on a scale of 0 to 1. Or you could say 0 to 100, 100%. If something is at 0, it has 0% chance of happening, it's never going to happen. It's impossible. But if something has 100% chance of happening, or a 1 out of 1 chance, it's certain. It's absolutely going to happen. Nothing else can happen but that. Or you can have something in the middle. So let's say something like flipping a coin. You have pretty much an even chance of anything happening. It's going to be heads or tails, a 50-50 even chance. This is how we talk about probability. Anything that is less than an even chance, we say it's unlikely. And the closer it gets to 0, the more impossible it is. Less likely it's going to happen. Anything greater than that 50-50 chance is likely to happen. And the closer it gets to 1, the more likely it's going to happen. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about outcomes, and we're going to think about probability as a ratio. We're going to think about all the things that could possibly happen out of the thing that we want to happen. And we're going to express that number as a ratio, as a fraction, and as a percent. So let's get started. Lupe has a box of gumdrops. Lupe took one gumdrop from the box without looking. Which sentence best explains the color of gumdrops Lupe probably picked? So I can see she has yellow, red, orange, or green. Lupe most likely picked what? So just thinking logically, the best chance she has to pick would probably be green because there are more greens than anything in there. So thinking about that in our questions, the first one, Lupe most likely picked green. Yeah, I would agree with that one. Because the chance of her getting green, I'm going to write the probability of green, would be 4 out of 10. Because there are 4 greens out of 10 in all. The probability of getting orange, well, there's only 1 orange out of 10. The probability of getting yellow would be 2 out of 10 because I only see 2 there. And the probability of getting red would be 3 out of 10. So it just makes the most sense. She has the best chance of getting green out of all of them. So how likely is it that she's going to pick an orange gumdrop using math? So the probability of orange is 1 out of 10. So that's not very likely. That means she has 1 chance out of 10 to get orange. Not likely. So there is a 1 out of 10 chance of Lupe picking orange, which is not likely. There is 1 orange out of all 10 gumdrops. Okay, math marbles, hit pause and jot this down into your notes. A bag has 36 marbles, 6 green, 12 red, 10 yellow, 8 blue. And the marbles are all mixed up. Ellie picks one marble. How likely is it that Ellie will pick a green marble? So the probability of green will be the number of green out of the total number of marbles. So there are 6 greens out of 36 marbles. We can simplify this to 1/6, and that's the probability of getting a green. Now, I can also turn this again to a decimal by dividing. If you did your division and you divided 1 by 6, you'll get 0.16 repeated. And you can turn this into a percent by moving that decimal over 2 times. Now, I do also want to note that because it's repeated, you'll get 1.666666. So I'm going to actually round this to 0.17. And that means I would have 17% because I'm going to move my decimal once and twice. Hit pause so you can jot this down into your notes. So let's do the same thing to figure out the probability of yellow. We know that there are 10 yellow out of 36. This was simplified to 5/18. So again, you would have to do your division. And if you did 5 divided by 18, you will get 0.277. I'm going to round this again to 0.28. Now to turn that to a percent, we're going to move our decimal over 2 times to get 28%. You have a 28% chance of getting yellow. So what would be impossible? Well, it's possible for her to get green, red, yellow, blue, but it would be impossible to get a purple because there isn't a purple at all. So that would be an impossible event because there is 0 purple out of 36 marbles. You can come up with a number of different impossible colors for this situation. But again, for it to be a 0 chance or completely impossible, it cannot exist as one of the possibilities. Hit pause and jot this down into your notes.